So in tab O, under our health insurance changes, we do have information in your notebook about health care reform and the changes that is bringing to local churches. You did receive an increase in premiums, you and we at the conference also, for rates for 2016 for our insurance rates. So we have the link there for you. They're on our website so that you can find out what those rates would be. We have the same note. We talked about this a little bit last year when it was clarified about pre-tax premium reimbursements for clergy. So if your clergy person is on a different health insurance plan, not the conference group plan, could you just pay that clergy person, reimburse them for their health insurance premiums on another plan and do it pre-tax? We used to be able to do that. Then end of previous year, they said you can't do that anymore. That is taxable. So if you are reimbursing your clergy person for health insurance premiums so that they can be on another plan, then that is taxable income and should be included on his or her W-2. The guidance that you have in the book will show you there could be what they call employer payment plans. EPPs is what they call them, where you pay premiums directly to an insurance company and do that on a pre-tax basis for the clergy. The General Board of Pension put out guidance that said if you do that, please stop, because healthcare reform is saying that should be taxable as well. They have found one place where there was kind of a loophole in there where it said if you don't have more than one employee, so if you only pay the pastor, then perhaps you could do a pre-tax EPP. The General Board of Pension says even if you're doing that, just be careful, because they think that it is that could be challenged in court. They don't think that's what was intended for that, so they're encouraging you not to do that, even if it's for only one employee. But the guidance that the IRS has put out on that says you don't have to do it. This doesn't apply if it's only one employee. So the guidance says that. The legal department at the General Board of Pensions said that's shaky, and they recommend that you not do that, even though that provision is there in the guidance. So it's just something to remember. If your clergy person is not on the conference plan, but you've been providing money for health insurance premiums paid to another plan, then that should be included as taxable income for that. Yes, ma'am. The question is, even if it is a student pastor, and yes, if it's for premiums that are paid outside of the conference plan, then that would be included as taxable. Right. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes your pastor may have a spouse that has other employment and they can get insurance and they prefer to have insurance on this other one, so you just want to pay the difference for them because you're not paying the premium to be on the conference plan, and you can do that. It's just taxable. So we kind of went away from the days when we could just reimburse them and that was okay. Now it is taxable. You just have to remember that. Okay? There is a health insurance reporting, tax reporting change that is coming for 2015, and some of you laypersons in particular may already have seen that in reporting for health insurance coverage that was provided for you by an employer. It would have been reported to you on a 1095 form for you to use when you did your own tax return. We were not required to do that in 2014, but will be required in 2015. So any applicable large employer, so it would be an employer with 50 or more full-time equivalents, which would be the conference, and some of our larger churches, because your daycare people count. Anybody that's on your payroll under your tax ID counts. If you go to 50 or more full-time equivalents, then you have to do your health insurance reporting on your 1095 forms at the end of this year. I do not yet have the exact guidance for how you would do those. We talked about that in a conference treasurer and benefit officer meeting of all of us in September, and we're hoping to get guidance on exactly what a local church will have to do from the General Board of Pension and GCFA. So we're still kind of waiting to form that, and when we do get that, then we will pass that along to you because we have to do that also. This is brand new for us at the conference as well. So we're going to be working on that, and then we'll be passing that along. So pay attention. I don't know if you have subscribed to threads on the conference website so that you get the updates that are posted to the conference website every day. I encourage you to do that if you're not subscribed already. There's a link on the website to be able to do that. Because we will be putting out information about how to do that. And it is definitely something that you need to pay attention to for your 2015 income tax reporting. It's something that we have to do, and we're going to give you more information on that. On your clergy pension section, tab P, you have your clergy compensation worksheet and instructions. There are not a lot of changes to the clergy compensation sheet this year. There were several last year. But what you will find on that form is what we use to report to the cabinet, what's been approved as the salary and all the different compensation items, as well as what you're going to do for pension and how much that bill is going to be. So I recommend you can take this form and the instructions and go through the whole thing and do it by hand if you would like to. You can also go to our website, and we have a clergy compensation calculator tool for you so that you can just plug the numbers in and it will tell you what the answer to all of this stuff is, so that you can be prepared and fill this in for your charge conference for online data collection system. That's where you will see under pastor's cash income the question we had a little bit earlier about where do we put other cash allowances, and we think we've got a place for if you're doing continuing education, there's a place for that. If you have other cash allowances that you're getting and there's not documentation coming, then there's a place for that. There's a place for vouchered travel, there's a place for vouchered utilities, your housing allowance, so all of that can be completed on that form. So we do ask that you look at that form and the instructions that go with that, and that's how we will report to the cabinet what you're paying and planning for that compensation for your pastor for 2016. So that form is available. Again, you can take this form out of the notebook and make copies, and you can do it by hand and do all the math if you want to, or you can go online, plug the numbers in, and it'll tell you what that should be. So those are two options that are available. Our plans in general are remaining the same for our benefit plans. Our clergy pension plans are defined by general conference. The one thing that I will let you know, and you can tell your clergy and clergy in the room, you can know this as well, is that under the United Methodist Personal Investment Plan for 2016, the General Board has added a new Roth contribution option. So pastors will be able to put in after-tax money into a Roth type arrangement and have those tax sheltered or tax savings that come from that Roth arrangement. So this is brand new. We haven't had that until 2016. This is of particular interest to our clergy person who have a few years left before they intend to retire, because they are the ones that stand to gain the most from this arrangement. But certainly at whatever point you are in your service, a Roth contribution could be beneficial to you in retirement. So it's something to think about, and that is something that is brand new. The General Board is working on some documentation that they will send out that will help pastors determine and calculate if this is good for them or not, depending on their particular circumstance and what they're doing. Question?
I recall an after-tax option for contributions to the, was that just through GCFA for non-clergy before, and that was not an option for clergy, and this is the new?
The question is, because there's already an option for after-tax contributions on United Methodist Personal Investment Plan, and that's still going to be there. So For clergy, there's a before-tax option, an after-tax option, and then there's a Roth option for that. The difference in that is that on the regular after-tax, they just put money into this account, into this personal investment plan account, and it's after-tax. So when they've already paid taxes on those earnings. So when they retire, they don't have to pay taxes on that money that they put in because they already have, but they do pay taxes on the earnings on that money. So the difference on a Roth contribution is that the earnings can be tax-free. Right, so you could have after-tax option where you've already paid money on what already paid taxes on what you put in there, and then your earnings could be considered tax-free as well. So this could be, in certain situations, this could be very beneficial to our clergy and anyone else who is on United Methodist Personal Investment Plan. If your church is sponsoring that for lay employees, then this is open to you as well. And like us on conference staff, we participate in UNPIP for our pension, and so it's an option that's available to us.
This may be beyond what you want to go into today, Christine, but why would you not want to do the Roth plan? When would it be not beneficial?
The question is why you would not want to do it, and that depends on your situation. So we need the guidance that the general board is going to send out will help everyone kind of step through their own situations. It depends on your tax bracket when you now versus when you retire. Lots of other things that are very, very personal to that person.
Thank you.
So, again, our changes that we had for last year, this is only our second year into that where we've got matching contributions. If our pastors are not contributing 1% at least to their PIP, then they are forfeiting a percent on their clergy retirement security program under the defined contribution. So where you can, please encourage your pastors to be contributing at least 1% to their UMPIP. We certainly recommend that they do more, but we want them to at least get the maximum benefit that they can get. And if they're not contributing to UMPIP, they will not get that matching percent. So we ask that you consider discussing that with them.